Right, so today we're going to be looking at Strays, which just came out the other week and I went to go see it. Well, actually, I've gone to see it twice now. And I actually almost skipped out on this film, and I'm really, really glad that I didn't. It has layers to it that I don't think you'd expect. Yes, this film was funny as fuck. As a comedy, you'd hope so. And no film has ever made me laugh this much in the cinema. Like, I'm not joking. This film made me laugh out loud more times than I ever have during any film I've seen. But it also brought some emotion into me while I was watching it.
I mean, you remember feelings, right?
And it may just be because I'm a bitch. But I don't know. Maybe it'll bring emotion into you too. It is mainly all humour, but the premise of the film is actually quite sad. So the plot follows Reggie, played by Will Ferrel, a comedy legend. And he has a really shitty owner who always tries to ditch his dog. But it doesn't work, because every time he drives his dog somewhere, the dog comes back because he thinks it's a game. Because obviously the dog loves him so much, he could never comprehend the thought that his owner doesn't want to play with him. So he drives 3 hours away from his home and ditches him in the city. And even though his man's ditched him, this dog is determined to come all the way back home and bring him his ball back. Because all he wants in life is to be called a good boy. That shit is just heartbreaking. Dogs are just... Humans do not deserve dogs. You know, they deserve so much love. Because even if you hate them like this man does, they'll still love you, even if you hate them. This film just perfectly sums up how I feel like dogs really do feel. I don't want to spoil too much of this film, so I really want you to watch it. But what I will say is his plan changes. And instead of bringing the ball back to his owner, he wants to go home and bite his owner's dick off instead. So yeah, it's a pretty wacky film, I will say that. And a lot of humour, I feel like you might not find as funny if you don't have a dog. Like, for example, when the dogs were out in the woods one night, they all decide to go to bed. And when they go into bed, they try and, reposition themselves and go in circles. And they're the other one to sat across from them, tell them, spin the other way, spin the other way. And to me, obviously, I found it very funny because I relate to it, where I've seen my dogs do that so many times. And obviously, I find it funny when I see them doing it. So seeing it again on the screen, it's still funny to me. Like, a lot of the humour is very silly and childish, as you expect from a film that's from a dog's perspective. And many of the jokes in this film actually rely on that, the perspective of dogs. Like, for example, one of my favourite running jokes is this dog called Bug, who's the co-main lead, played by Jamie Foxx, who is the standout of this film, by the way. Like, Jamie Foxx is the best part of this film. I could easily watch his character Bug for the entire movie. You don't need any other dog, I could just watch him. And this running joke is that he has a relationship with a sofa, and he sees this as an actual relationship, and he talks to her. See, he's even got me doing it. And he talks to the sofa as if she were a real woman. Which obviously, if it was just a person, it wouldn't be funny. But because it's a dog, it's funny. And obviously, there's a lot of poo and pee jokes, as you expect. You know, it's a film about dogs. So if that's not your type of humour, obviously don't watch a film about dogs. You know, they're mucky animals. And the dog trainers did a really, really good job in this film too, I feel. Like, I couldn't really tell what parts were CGI and what parts were dogs. I don't know if that says more about the film or more about me. Anyway, this film just really hit the spot for me, and I'm really, really glad that I went to go see it, and I really, really think you should go see it too. It's not got the most in-depth story, and there wasn't loads of great cinematography or anything like that, but the film will make you laugh and it will give you some emotion, I'll tell you that for sure. But it was entertaining, and at the end of the day, that's what films are for. So yeah, go watch this film if you've got the time.